Hey, what's going on, friends? Everyone okay? Recovered from yesterday? Brain is all rested and ready to go? Good. Today, what about today? Today is complicated. Yeah, it's a little complicated, but it's also exciting. Yeah, it is. It's complicated because this is this Gemara today reminds me a lot about Masechta Nida. God willing, we will learn together in only another 7 years. God willing. It's hard to think about another month from now, or even a day. But anyways, a lot of calculations, trying to figure out what day of the week these things are and whatever. You're going to experience that shortly enough. So the first kind of thing that we're going to be talking about is Poleta Shichva Zera. This actually came up in Masechta Brachos at the end of the third parak in a very short little Mishnah. Maybe if some people might remember, I had appended a little song from the Mishnah project at the end of that one. Anyways, so this is talking about Har Sinai. It's talking about Har Sinai, which is pretty exciting because Shavuos. It's mamish right after Shavuos. We're learning about Har Sinai. And anyways, so it's talking about you couldn't be a Balkari at Har Sinai. So how far away did men and women have to not be sleeping with each other in advance in preparation for Har Sinai to make sure that nobody would possibly be a Balkari? We'll get to there and see exactly what that means. And then we're really going to be kind of moving into getting ready for Har Sinai, right? And the days leading up to that. And I think that's kind of like the vibe of the day, but from a very technical perspective, not from a very story-oriented perspective. Just trying to work out dates and details. So, but these are, that being said, the coming dafs are like the main sugya in Shas, as far as I know, about Ma'amad Har Sinai. So that is pretty cool. Again, maybe it could have been cool if we did it maybe like a week ago. But in any event, friends, without further ado, I hope you're excited. New Mishnah. How do we know that if a woman is poleta shechva zera on Yom HaShlishi, that she's Tamea? What does that mean? So the assumption is that, if a man and a woman sleep together, so it would be possible theoretically for the sperm to come out of the woman at some later point. And we're saying that even if this later point is 3 days later, the sperm would still be considered active and able to be fertilized, and still would be tameh, because we know that sperm is tameh, is an avatuma. So we're saying that it retains its status of avatuma for 3 days. On day 4 already, it's considered masrachas, it's considered, ruined, putrid, not able to be fertilized anymore. No, not be fertilized, to fertilize, anymore. And zeo. So how do we know this? So how do we know? So how do we know that if a woman 3 days after sleeping with a man is poleta shechva zera, the sperm comes out of her, that she will be tmeya because the zera, the sperm, is in avatuma and it will be matame her? So how do we know this? So Shnei Emar, as the pasuk says, Hayu nechonim l'shloshes yamim, prepare yourselves for 3 days. Now that is a pasuk by Har Sinai, and the directive was that for 3 days leading up to Har Sinai, men and women were not permitted to sleep with one another. And just to give a little bit more details over here, so the Torah was given to the Yidden on Shabbos, okay? Now, the assumption right now in our Mishnah is like Rabbi Yossi, which is that the directive for men and women having to separate from each other was on Wednesday, and therefore you have Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, right, as sort of quarantine days, right? So that for sure on Shabbos everybody will be tahor, because that means that even if on Shabbos a woman would release the sperm from Wednesday, it doesn't matter. That sperm would already be considered putrid. It wouldn't be able to fertilize an egg, and it would not make a woman tameh. However, up until Shabbos, right, if she's poleta shechva zera on Friday, well then she would be tameh, and then she would go to the mikveh and become tahor. but to make sure that no matter what happens on Shabbos, there would be no Bali carries. Okay? Fine. So now, now, if I understand correctly, this is really, all of these minayins that we've been talking about, right? How do we know that avodah zarah is tameh? How do we know that you can plant 5 species in 6 tefachim, right? And now we're asking about minayin lepoletes shechva zera. All this is really leading up to this, which is how do we know that you can wash the wound of a bris milah on day 3 after the bris? And I guess the assumption is that I guess you would be violating some kind of melacha on Shabbos. I don't know if that's heating up water to warm the water. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I'm sure we'll learn about it. But I think the point is that so how do we know that even though it's Shabbos, you would still be allowed to wash the wound of a bris milah if the 3rd day from the bris was on Shabbos? And as Rashi explains, because the baby at that point, it's still considered dangerous. And I assume what it means is that therefore the baby would be considered a chola sheyesh bo sakana, a chola who is in danger, a sick person who's in danger. And therefore you'd be allowed to do whatever malacha you need to on Shabbos in order to heal this baby. So you'd be allowed to wash the wound from the bris on Shabbos. Shenemar, the pasuk says, "Vayi ba'yom ashlishi biosim ko'avim." This was a pasuk by Shem when Shem raped Dinah. So then Shimon and Levi took revenge and destroyed the city. And in order to sort of set the stage and make it easier for them, they convinced all the men in the city to circumcise. And then on the 3rd day, it says when they were in great pain, and the assumption being that they were they were still in danger. So that is when Shimon and Levi came and kind of took their revenge and killed everybody. So we see that on day 3 it's still considered a sakana. And because it's still considered a sakana, that is why you'd be allowed to wash the wound on Shabbos. Minayin shekoshrin lashun shel zahoras berosh sayir mishtalech. How do we know that we tie a scarlet strip of wool to the head of the goat that gets chucked off the cliff on Yom Kippur? Shenemar, as the pasuk says, if your sins will be like scarlet, they will become white like snow. So that's how we compare sins to scarlet, and that's how we know that you put a scarlet strip of wool on the head of the goat that gets chucked off the mountain. Minayin l'sicha sheikeshisiya b'yom kippurim. How do we know that, right, on Yom Kippur there are 5 things that we don't do, right? Who can tell me what they are? Let's see if I can tell me what they are. Rechitza, we don't wash our hands. Sicha, which is that we don't put oil on our skin. Nilas, a sandal, we don't wear leather shoes. Tash mishamita, we don't have sex on Yom Kippur. And achila ushtia, we don't eat and drink. I think I said all of them. And zeo, so how do we know that anointing yourself with oil on Yom Kippur is just as significant as drinking on Yom Kippur? So even though we don't have a proof, we have sort of an allusion to it. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, "Vatove kamayim bekirbo uchashemen ba'atzmosav," that it came like water inside of him and like oil in his bones. So we compare putting oil, applying oil to drinking water. Friends, let's look at the Gemara. Reisha del Karbalaz ben Azariah, Sefer Karbalaz ben Azariah. Okay. So the Gemara says that, the first part of our Mishnah is not like Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. The second part of our Mishnah is like Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. What's the first part and what's the second part? The first part of our Mishnah is Minayin poletes shechva zera b'yom hashlishi shehi tameh. How do we know that if a woman is poletes shechvas zera on day 3, she would be tameh? So in our examples, we will be sticking to the following format, which is we'll use it based on Har Sinai, according to Rabbi Yossi, which is that men and women had to separate from each other on Wednesday, which means that if they slept with each other on Wednesday before the directive to separate from each other, we can nonetheless still count Wednesday. So if they slept with each other on Wednesday, so then we count Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Friday being day 3. Now, our Mishnah says that if the sperm from Wednesday comes out of her on Friday, so she's poletes shechva zera on Friday, okay? So we're saying, in our Mishnah, we're saying that she is Tameya, okay? Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, nonetheless, would argue on that. He would say that by day 3, she's already Tehora, right? So if they slept with each other on Wednesday, she's poletes shechva zera on Friday, she would not be Tameh, she would be Tahor, because that shechva zera that came out of her was already putrid. It wasn't able to fertilize an egg, and therefore it is not Tameh, and therefore she is Tahora. Okay, so Reisha Delok Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. So the first part of our Mishnah is not like Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, because Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah would say that poletes shechva zera b'yom hashlishi would be Tahora, and we're saying that she's Tameya. Seifa Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Now, the Seifa, the second part, is like Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. What's the second part? The second part is we're saying that you're allowed to wash the wound of a bris milah on day 3 from the bris. So, and that's exactly Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah's opinion. If you look on, was it Kuf Lamed Daled Amud Beis, I believe? So that's literally what he says therein, right? Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, Omer Machitzin es hakayin b'yom hashlishi shechalios b'Shabbos, right? So we see that the first part of our Mishnah about poletes shechva zera b'yom hashlishi being tameh is not like Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, who says that she would be tahor. However, the Seifa, the second part of our Mishnah, which says that marchitzin es hamila b'yom hashlishi, is Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Okay. So the Gemara says the ikra Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah tahor shmayin alei. So why do we know that the first part of our Mishnah isn't like Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah? Because he would say that poletes shechva zera b'yom hashlishi is tahora, and our Mishnah says that she's tameya. Man de lo muki kitanai. So the man de Amar, right? So apparently there's a machlokas in Baba Mitzia that there's 2 ways to deal with a situation like this, right? Meaning when you have 2 things that are mentioned in one Mishnah anonymously, right? And we're trying to figure out who the author is. So one approach would be to try to say that they're both the same author. And if that leads to problems, right, such as like we have, where the Reisha can't possibly be Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah because it says Tameya, and he would say Tahora. So the only way to do that would be to have to change around the Mishnah. But at least that way, both the Reisha and the Seifa could be the same person, could be Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. So by changing the Mishnah to say that if poletes shechva zera b'yom hashlishi is Tahora, well then that would be in line with Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. And then the second part of the Mishnah, which says marchitzin es hamila b'yom hashlishi, would also be Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. The other mahalach obviously would be to say that there's a machlokas, that the Reisha is not Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, and the Seifa is Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. So it's exactly what the Gemara is saying, right? So man de lo muki ketanai. So the man de Amar, right, the approach to this situation where they don't want to make it a machlokas, where they'd be much more comfortable saying that both the Reisha and the Seifa are the same person, are both Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. So Tana Reisha Tahora, umuki la l'chulak Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. So he'll say, well, the first statement of the Mishnah is actually saying that when a woman is poletes shechva zera b'yom hashlishi, she would be Tahora. That's like Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. And then the second part about the Mishnah of marchitzin es hamila b'yom hashlishi is also Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. And the man de Amar, who has no problem saying it's a machlokas, so who cares? So Reisha, Rabbanan, B'Sefer Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, well then the Reisha, the first part is like the Rabbanan, is like the rabbis who say that poletes shechva zera b'yom hashlishi is Tameya. And the second part, which says marchitzin es hamila b'yom hashlishi, would be Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Friends, let's move on. Tana Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, poletes shechva zera b'yom hashlishi, tahora to Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Okay, so according to Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, if a woman is poletes shechva zera on day 3, she's tahora. Okay, so going back to our example, so the man, right? So the man and the woman slept with each other on Wednesday, which is therefore day 1. Thursday is day 2. Friday, if she's poletes shechva zera, no problem, she's tahora, fine. Now, Rabbi Shmuel Omer, says Rabbi Shmuel, paimim shein dalid onos, paimim shein hey onos, paimim shein vav onos. Okay, first of all, Rabbi Shmuel's opinion is that is like our Mishnah, okay? That if a woman is Poletes Shechva Zera on day 3, then she will be Timeya, okay? So if this man and woman slept with each other on Wednesday, okay? Wednesday is day 1. Thursday is day 2. Friday is day 3. If she's Poletes Shechva Zera on Friday, she's Timeya. Now, what is an Ona? An Ona is either day or night, right? So basically a 24-hour period, a day, which is made up of 2 onot, right? There's the night part of the day and there's the day part of the day. And obviously, of course, we know at this point that days in halacha start with the night and then followed by the day. So one day is made up of 2 onot, the ona of the night and the ona of the day. And what Rabbi Yishmael is saying is that what he's concerned about, all he cares about is that that if a woman is Poletes Shechva Zera at any point during a 3-day period, right? So in our example, at any point from when this man and this woman slept with each other on Wednesday, okay? And she's Poletes from any point from then until the end of the day on Friday, right? I.e. until Shabbos starts. If she's Poletes at any point, she will be Timeya, because what we care about is the days, right? We care about Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We don't care about if she slept with her husband Tuesday night at the very beginning of Wednesday, Tuesday, right? Because the night being Tuesday night being considered Wednesday. We don't care if she slept with her husband on Tuesday night. We don't care if she slept with her husband on Wednesday right before Shkia, right? There's a big difference, right? There's basically a 24-hour difference between that. It doesn't matter. It's not a matter of time. It's not a matter of how many of these onos it is. No, what matters is the days. The fact of the matter is, when she sleeps with her husband on Tuesday night, it's considered Wednesday. And when she sleeps with her husband on Wednesday afternoon right before Shkia, it's also considered Wednesday. So Wednesday in both cases would be day 1. And then there's Thursday, and then there's Friday. And up until Shabbos begins on Friday, if during any of that point she's Poletes Shechva Zera, she will be Tameh. Now, what this means is that sometimes it will be 4 onos, sometimes it will be 5 onos, sometimes it will be 6 onos. What does this mean? So, in the case where this woman sleeps with her husband on Wednesday, right before Shkia, okay? So it's Wednesday right before Shkia. So now, you don't have any complete onos on Wednesday, right? Because she didn't sleep with her husband Tuesday night, right? So there's no ona, so the first ona of Wednesday, forget about it. And then she only slept with her husband right before Shkia on Wednesday, which means that you don't even have the complete ona of Wednesday day, right? Because she only slept with her husband at the very end. However, you do have the complete ona, meaning by the time that she slept with her husband at the end of the day on Wednesday before Shkia, well then you do have the entire Wednesday night, you have the entire Thursday, you have the entire Thursday night, and you have the entire Friday, right? So in this case, the period of time during which she can be Poletes Shechva Zera and be Tameh would be 4 onas. Now, sometimes it could be 5 onas. When would it be 5 onas? Well, if she sleeps with her husband on Tuesday night, in the middle of the night, let's say, so she's not going to have the complete ona from Tuesday night because, she only slept with her husband in the middle of the night. So therefore, we don't have that complete ona. However, it was before the morning, so you have the entire Wednesday, then you have Wednesday night, you have Thursday night, and you have Friday, okay? That is a total of 5 complete onos, during which time, if she's Poletes Shechva Zera at any point, she would be Tameh over the course of those 5 onos, and sometimes it can be 6 onos. And that would be if she sleeps with her husband during Bein HaShmashos, on Tuesday night, Bein HaShmashos. So because it's Bein HaShmashos, we have to go l'chumra and assume that we have to treat it as if it's Wednesday already, right? And therefore, if up until Shabbos she is Poletes Shechva Zera at any point, we have to assume that she is Tameh because we are going to consider the 3 days only beginning on Wednesday, not on Tuesday. So therefore, because it was Bein Hashmashos, we have to consider it Wednesday in terms of when we start counting, not as Tuesday. However, because it was Bein Hashmashos, by the time, it was certainly Wednesday, by the time sort of the Ona of Wednesday, of Tuesday night, which is considered Wednesday, began, well, she was already done sleeping with her husband, and then there is the complete Ona of Tuesday night. Then you have all day Wednesday, Wednesday night, Thursday night, all day Friday, for a total of 6 complete Onos, during which time, if at any point she was Poletes Shechva Zera, she would be Tmeya, and then comes Shabbos, and at that point, she, even if she's Poletes Shechva Zera on Shabbos, it would be considered Masriach, she wouldn't be Tameh. Okay? That was pretty long-winded, but that's what the Gemara is saying. So, according to Rabbi Yishmael, okay, the point being that what's important is 3 days. It doesn't matter how many onos. Sometimes it could be 4, sometimes it could be 5, sometimes it could be 6. However, what's important is the number of days. If she sleeps with her husband at any point on Wednesday, so Wednesday is day 1, followed by Thursday, followed by Friday. If she's Poletes Shechva Zera during that point, during any of that time, well then she's going to be Tmeya. Fine. So let's read it inside. So Rabbi Yishmael Omer, says Rabbi Yishmael, Paimim shein dalet onos, sometimes it's 4 onos, such as 4 complete onos, such as if she sleeps with her husband at the end of the day on Wednesday before Shkia. Paimim shein hey onos, sometimes it could be 5 onos if she sleeps with her husband Tuesday night. Paimim shein vav onos, sometimes it could be even 6 onos if she sleeps with her husband on Tuesday during Bein Hashmashos. Rabbi Akiva Omer, says Rabbi Akiva, le'olam hey. Okay. V'myatzasa Miktas ona rishona nosnila miktas ona shishis. Okay, so Rabbi Akiva says that what's important is the number of onos, right? So whereas according to Rabbi Yishmael and Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, what's important is the number of days, right? So according to Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, if she sleeps with her husband on Wednesday, at any point on Wednesday, so then Wednesday and Thursday she's going to be Tmeya, by Friday she's going to be Tahora, right? According to Rabbi Yishmael, if she sleeps with her husband at any point on Wednesday, so then Wednesday and Thursday and Friday she's going to be Tmeya, if she's Poletes Shechva Zera, and on Shabbos already, if she's Poletes Shechva Zera, she's going to be Tahora. Now, Rabbi Akiva's opinion though, is that actually what's important is the number of onos, okay? So now, what that means is, he says you have to have 5 complete onos. So, let's say you have a husband and a wife and they sleep with each other on Wednesday at noon, right? They sleep with each other Wednesday at noon, halfway through the day on Wednesday, okay? So you don't have the complete Ona of Wednesday. You only have half of that first Ona of the day on Wednesday, right? So, but you do have the complete Ona of Wednesday night. You do have Thursday day. You have Thursday night, and you have Friday day, okay? So those are 4 complete Onos. Again, right? Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Friday are 4 complete onos. However, Rabbi Akiva says you have to have 5 complete onos. Now, you have half of the first ona from, the second half of Wednesday, because, right, they slept with each other halfway through the day on Wednesday. So he says, well, okay, so we right now have 4.5. So then you need to take up half of the first ona of Shabbos, i.e. Friday night. Half of the ona of Friday night would make the complete 5 onos, right? Half of the day on Wednesday, all day Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday, and then the first half of the first ona of Shabbos would complete the 5 onos. So now, whereas Rabbi Yishmael would say that, well, if they slept with each other noon on Wednesday, well, that's Wednesday, right? So you can count. Wednesday is day 1, Thursday is day 2, Friday is day 3. By the time Shabbos starts, it's already day 4, and if she's Poletes Shechva Zera, she'd be Tahora. According to Rabbi Akiva, not necessarily, right? Because if they only slept with each other halfway through the day on Wednesday, well then she still has to make up for half an ona on the first ona of Friday night. However, it can also of course be a kula, to the extent that, well, if they sleep with each other on Tuesday night, halfway through the night, well then, you have all day Wednesday night, Thursday night, and already halfway through the day on Friday, then she's already tahor, because she's had, if she's Poletes Shechva Zera, because she's already had 5 complete onos. Zeu, that is the machlokas between Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, Rabbi Shmuel, and Rabbi Akiva. Okay, so let's just do Rabbi Akiva inside. So Rabbi Akiva Omer says Rabbi Akiva, the Olam, hey, really what's important is that over the course of 5 onos, if a woman is poleta shechva zera, so then she will be tmeya. V'im yatzasa miktas ona rishona, and if you can't include part of the first ona, right? So let's say they slept with each other on Wednesday halfway through the day, so you can't include the first part of the of that ona. Well, nosen la miktas ona shisha, so just include part of the 6th ona. In our example, i.e. the first part of Friday night, which would be the ona number 6, you can make up for the first part of ona number 1 that you missed, for a total of 5 onos. Everybody got that? Good. Weiter. Amur Rabbanon Kamed Rav Papa. Now, the rabbis said the following question to Rav Papa. V'amar Rav Papa l'Rava. Some say Taka Rav Papa asked the following question to Rava. Bishlam Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah k'Rabbanon. Okay, so I understand, just in terms of trying to categorize Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, Rabbi Shmuel, and Rabbi Akiva with another machlokas, which is that according to the Chachamim, according to the Rabbanan, so there were 2 days when men and women had to separate from each other before Kabbalah Satorah. Kabbalah Satorah happened on Shabbos. Everyone agrees with that. Now, according to the Rabbanan, this thing about men and women not being able to sleep with one another, that was, according to Rabbanan, that was only Tuesday. No. It was only Thursday and Friday, 2 days, okay? And according to Rabbi Yossi, it was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It was 3 days, okay? So Bishlama, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, K'Rabbanan. So I understand that Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, who says that a woman is tameh if she's poletes shechva zera over the course of 2 days, but by day 3 she's tahor. So he holds like the Rabbanan, the Amre behei avud prisha, that they say that on Thursday men and women had to separate. So basically, if already they slept with each other at some point on Thursday before the memo to separate, well, okay, beseder. Well, they slept with each other on Thursday. That's day 1. Friday would be day 2. By day 3 already, if she's poleta shechva zera on Shabbos during Matan Torah, she wouldn't be balas tumas keri. Okay, she wouldn't be tmeya. Okay. Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Yossi, and Rabbi Shmuel holds like Rabbi Yossi the Amar b'dalad avud prisha, that according to Rabbi Yossi, men and women separated, right? The command to separate men and women happened on Wednesday, and therefore anybody who slept with each other before the command, so Wednesday would be day 1, then Thursday day 2, Friday day 3. By the time they got Kabbalah Satorah on Shabbos, even if she would be poleta shechva zera, she wouldn't be tamei anymore. Fine. So Rabbi Shmuel is like Rabbi Yossi. El Rabbi Akiva, come on. Who does Rabbi Akiva hold like? Because he can't even hold like Rabbi Yossi, because let's say, right, according to Rabbi Akiva, he says you have to have 5 onos. Well, I don't know, let's say a man and a woman slept with each other halfway through the day on Wednesday, and that was before the command came to separate. Well, 5 onos are not going to be complete, as we described earlier, until halfway through the first ona of Friday night, right? And therefore, even at some point on Shabbos, if this woman would be poleta shechva zera, she would still be tameya. So she wouldn't necessarily be tahor before Shabbos began. Right? So maybe according to, so who does Rabbi Akiva hold like? Does he say that this prisha happened on, even if he takes the opinion of Rabbi Yossi, who gives more time for the prisha, that was already since Wednesday, well, that might not even be enough for Rabbi Akiva, because if they slept with each other halfway through the day on Wednesday, well, then she's still going to be tameya for being poleta shechva zera, even during half of the first ona of Friday night. So the olam Rabbi Yossi. So really, Rabbi Akiva holds like Rabbi Yossi. Really, Rabbi Akiva holds like Rabbi Yossi, that the command to separate was on Wednesday. Okay. And it's like Rav Ada bar Ahava says, Moshe b'hashkame Allah u'b'hashkama yarad. right? That Moshe Rabbeinu, when he went up and down from Har Sinai, this always happened be'hashkama. It always happened early in the morning, I guess before the day started. Which means that when he went down, right, when he went down from Har Sinai and told the people to separate men from women, that happened very early in the day, which means that already by the time the day started, men and women on Wednesday were no longer sleeping with each other, right? Which means, therefore, that anybody who had slept with each other, any couples who had slept with each other on Tuesday night, well, already you had all day Wednesday, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Friday to get your 5 onos. Already by the time Shabbos started, even if the woman would be poleta shechva zera, she would not be tamea. Okay? So fine. Moshe b'ashkama Allah v'ashkama yard b'ashkama Allah dichsiv. How do we know that every time Moshe Rabbeinu went up to Har Sinai, it was early in the morning? As the pasuk says, v'yashke Moshe baboker v'ya'al el Har Sinai. That Moshe Rabbeinu got up early in the morning and went to Har Sinai. B'ashkama yarad. How do we know that he also went down from the mountain early in the morning? Dichsiv, as the pasuk says, lech reid v'lisa ata v'Aharon imach. Go down and then go up, you and Aharon. So, Makish Yirida La'aliyah, we compare going down to going up. Ma'aliyah ba'ashkameh, just like when he would go up to the mountain, it was early in the morning. So, if Yirida ba'ashkameh, also when he would go down, so such as when he went down from the mountain, in order to tell people to separate, that also happened early in the morning, which means that we have all day Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Friday, 5 complete onos, even according to Rabbi Akiva. Frek the Gemara, Lamale lememra lehu. How come, he even had to tell them not to sleep with one another during the day? Ve'amar Rav Huna Yisrael kadoshim hein ve'im shamshin mitaseim bayom. But Rav Huna said that the Yidden are so holy that they don't have sex during the day when it's too light outside. So therefore, and therefore what? And therefore they weren't going to be sleeping with each other anyways on Wednesday. So why did Moshe Rabbeinu need to tell them, don't sleep with each other, nobody should be sleeping together today? So the Gemara answers, well, ha'amar Rava, im haya bayis afil mutter. Rava says, look, but if it's a dark house, it could be okay. V'amar Rava v'tem Rav Papa, Talmud Chacham afil b'taliso mutter. A Talmud Chacham can just cover himself in a talis and kind of artificially make it dark, and then you'd be allowed to sleep with his wife. So we do see that there are certain dispensations for being able to have sex during the day. Therefore, Moshe had to tell them, not today, friends. And Zeu, so the decree happened early in the morning, and even according to Rabbi Akiva, you had 5 onos. Exciting stuff, right? This is like what Masechta Nida is about. It's just like calculations. It's literally like half of the Masechta is just calculations. If there is this on this day, well, it depends how many then other days, what time during the day. Like, I guess maybe that's why they say it's like one of the 3 hard Masechtas, but I didn't think it was that bad. Honestly, I'm a little bit nervous for Eruvin. We're going to get to that soon. But we've done so much Eruvin and Shabbos. Can it really be that much harder? I don't know, maybe. Friends, we'll do it, friends. We'll do it. And you know what? It'll probably make us even better friends. Alright, let's move on. V'atvule yom ninu. Oh, and just as you thought, maybe it would get more easier, right? Now we introduce Tvul Yom to the mix. No, but it doesn't really make it that much harder. It just makes it more of the same level of difficulty, I'd say. It's not so hard. So here's the question. We're assuming that, okay, fine. So the men and the women separated on Wednesday, right? Now, according to Rabbi Yossi. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, they were separated, and in the event that a woman would be pulled at the shechva zera, then she would be tummy. But by the time Shabbos comes, everyone just goes to the mikveh, and they are going to be tahor for Matan Torah. Kind of. If they go to the mikveh on Friday night, well, then they're going to be a Tvul Yom, right? Remember, what's a Tvul Yom? Tvul Yom is somebody who's tameh and is able to go to the mikveh to become tahor. So they go to the mikveh, but they remain, a Tvul Yom. They remain in this pending status until Harev Shemesh, as we know from already the first daf of all of Shas, with the Kohanim to eat their truma. So until there's a Harav Shemesh, they're going to be Tvul Yom. So if they go to the mikveh on Friday night when Shabbos starts, well, they're going to be at Tvul Yom until, the end of Shabbos when there's Harav Shemesh. So that basically means that at Matan Torah they're going to be Tvul Yoms, because Matan Torah happened on Shabbos. And they only went to the mikveh Friday night. But if everyone's going to the mikveh on Friday night, after this 3-day separation period, well then, during Matan Torah, they're going to be Tvul Yoms. So Abai bar Ravin, Rav Chanina bar Ravin, Dami Tarvayu, Nitna Torah leTvul Yom. Okay? So Abai bar Ravin and Rav Chanina bar Ravin asked that, they didn't ask, so they answered, Seder. So the Torah was given to a bunch of Tvul Yoms. What do you want me to tell you? Yosef Meremar v'Karmela lehashmaita. So Meremar was saying over this sugya, right, about Nitna Torah leTvul Yom. Amar Ravina leMeremar, and Ravina said to Meremar, Nitna ka'amart or Ru'uya ka'amart? Wait, are you literally saying that the Torah was actually given to 600,000 Tvul Yoms? Or are you saying it could have theoretically been given to Tvul Yoms and it wouldn't be such a big deal? He says, theoretically it could have been given to a bunch of Tvul Yoms, but they weren't actually Tvul Yoms. What does that mean? It means they went to the mikveh before Friday night. Kilu, they went to the mikveh during the week, right? Kilu, so a husband and a wife slept with each other Tuesday night. So they went to the mikveh already on Wednesday, right? And assuming that that nobody saw Keri, that nobody was Polei Shich Vazera, all day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so the mikveh that they did on Wednesday, there's still Torah from that. Kilu, everybody went to the mikveh before Shabbos already. What it means is that theoretically, let's say this woman went to the mikveh Friday morning, or let's say Thursday night, whatever it might be, right? And then right before Shabbos, she's Poleta Shich Vazera, right? And we say that all day Friday, if she's Poleta Shich Vazera, she would be Tmeah, so then she would go to the mikveh Friday night. And sure, she would be a Tvulas Yom during Matan Torah, but it's not like everybody just waited until Shabbos to go to the mikveh. You went to the mikveh already before Matan Torah, and you were Torah during Matan Torah. In the event that a woman would be Poleta Shich Vazera, after she went to the mikveh, but before Shabbos, so then she would go to the mikveh, if she went to the mikveh Friday night, sure, she would be a Tvulas Yom, and that would be okay. But that doesn't mean that everybody was literally, the Torah wasn't necessarily given to 600,000 Tvul Yoms. Okay, so now the Gemara asks some questions on Rabbi Akiva. So now, according to Rabbi Akiva, who says that it's all about 5 onos, well, question. V'litbelu b'nei shimshei, v'likabu Torah b'nei shimshei. So if that's the case, Rabbi Akiva, that the Torah was only makbid on 5 onos, and therefore he explained that the command to separate men and women was, before b'ashkama on Wednesday. So it was all day Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday. You have your 5 onos. Well then, Nu L'Maiser B'Kiva, by Friday night, everyone's Torah. They go to the mikvah Friday night. Just give the Torah already Friday night. Just give the Torah already Friday night. Everybody's Torah. If anybody's Polei Shich Vazera, it won't be Shaykh. So, it won't be Tameh. So why did the Eibishter have to wait until Shabbos day? Just give the Torah on Friday night. And therefore, what the Gemara is asking is that from the fact that the Eibishter waited to give the Torah until Shabbos day, doesn't that imply that maybe the Torah was dafka makbid on 6 onos? So the Gemara answers, right, so v'litblu ben shimshei v'likablu Torah ben shimshei. So why don't you go to the mikvah on Friday night and also receive the Torah on Friday night? Right, ben shimshei being a reference to Friday night. So Amar Rabbi Yitzchak, says the holy Rabbi Yitzchak, Lo meirosh baseisa dibarti. So our Gemara is the gears of this pasuk, Lo meirosh baseisa dibarti, but there's another pasuk also that Rashi quotes, which is Lo baseisa dibarti b'mkom eretz choshech. I didn't speak in hiddenness, in secret, in a dark land. I.e., the Torah was not, the Eibishter didn't want to give the Torah at night, but the Eibishter gave the Torah during the day, right? But everyone was nonetheless already tahor by the nighttime. So then the Gemara asks, V'litblu b'tzafar b'shabata. V'likabu Torah b'tzafar b'shabata. Well, if that's the case, that the Torah was dafka given on Shabbos day, well then, why, according to Rabbi Akiva, did the command have to be to separate men and women already b'ashkama on Wednesday? They could have given the command, right before the end of the day on Wednesday, which would then mean that already, so just start counting the onos from Wednesday night. So you have Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday, and then Friday night would be ona number 5. And then they go to the mikveh on Shabbos morning, right before they receive the Torah, right? How come, according to Rabbi Akiva, they had, this edict, this command was at the beginning, Bashkama on Wednesday, right? So that ona number 1 was Wednesday. You don't really need that. Ona number 1 could really start with Wednesday night. So the Gemara says, yeah, but Shelo Yehei, Amar Yitzchak, Shelo Yehei, Halalu Hochen L'Kabel Torah, Halalu Hochen L'Tvila. Because we don't want, you have people going to receive the Torah, you have people who are Balkaris and going to the mikveh. You don't want that. Everyone goes to the mikveh Friday night. Everyone's already Torah because they were separated, men and women, from Hashkama on Wednesday. Everyone's already, latest they're going to the mikveh is Friday night. And by the time Shabbos day comes and they're ready to receive the Torah, everyone is pure and ready to go. Friends, let's move on. Amr Rabbi Yitzchak Bar Abba, Amr Rabbi Yochanan, says the holy, did I say Rabbi Yitzchak Bar Abba? Rewind. Amr Rabbi Chia Bar Abba, Amr Rabbi Yochanan, says Rabbi Chia Bar Abba in the name of Rabbi Yochanan. Okay. Zod Rabbi Yishmael, Rabbi Akiva. So far we've just looked at the opinions of Rabbi Yishmael and Rabbi Akiva with regard to, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday being the separation days. The Chachamim Taka say you need 6 complete onos. So therefore you'd have the entire, right, they also agree that the command happened b'ashkama, so you'd have the entire day Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday, and Friday night. Shabbos day they went to the mikveh and they received the Holy Torah. Friends, let's move on. Amr Rav Chizda, says Rav Chizda, Machlokas sheper shemana isha. This whole machlokas that we have about, poletes shichva zera, is it masricha? In which case, is the seed no longer capable of fertilizing an egg? In which case, it is tahor, or maybe not. Maybe it's still tameh. That is only once the sperm has been inside of the woman and then come out of the woman. Aval persha mina ish tameh kozman sheilacha. However, if this is simply sperm that came out of a man but did not go into a woman, so then, as long as it is moist, it will be able to transfer tumah forever. Even if a week later, somehow it's still moist, it will still transfer tumah. But once it's dry, it doesn't. Masav Rav Sheshes asks, V'chol beged, v'chol or, asher yeh olav shichva zera, prada shichva zera shi srucha. So the Gemara says, 1 second. We have a pasuk that says, any garment or any hide that has sperm on it, that has shichva zera on it, so will be tameh. Prada shichva zera shi srucha, to the exclusion of sperm that is srucha, that is no longer able to fertilize an egg. My love sheper shemana ish. And mistama, the Gemara Rav Sheshes wants to say, well, let's assume that this is talking about sperm that came out of a man, and we do see that there is a possibility of it becoming srucha, even though it's still moist. Lo sheper shemina isha. We're saying no. This is talking about if it's sperm that was inside a woman, came out of a woman, and now that is how it can be srucha, and there's a machloka, right? And then it won't be mitame clothing anymore. And this is our machlokas between Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, Rabbi Yishmael, Rabbi Akiva, Chachamim, all sorts of people about what is the time period during which, or really after which it would be considered srucha. Let's move on. Now Rav Papa asks an interesting question over here. So by Rav Papa wants to know, Shichvas zera shel Yisrael b'mei nachris mau. Okay, what if you have the sperm of a Jew inside of a non-Jewish woman? Okay. Well, do we say Yisrael de da'ige b'mitzvos chavil gufayu akum de lo da'ige b'mitzvos lo? Do we say, Jewish women, they are so concerned and so nervous all the time about making sure that they're doing the mitzvos, the commandments properly, it kind of heats up their body. And because it heats up their body, that is why over time they would be able to make this sperm, srucha, and no longer able to fertilize an egg. However, Gentile women are, they're not doing mitzvahs. So therefore they're not so nervous all the time about doing mitzvahs, and therefore their body heat remains slightly cooler and will not make the sperm putrid and unable to fertilize. And therefore even after these time periods that we're talking about, if she's poletes shechva zera, that seed that came from a man would still be tameh. Odilma, or maybe came to achlin shkatzim or masim chavil gufayu. However, maybe on the other end you can argue, well, they eat bugs and creepy crawly kind of things, and therefore, apparently, or at least back then they did, or maybe now, I don't know, let's move on. So anyways, because they eat kind of creepy crawler kind of things, the Gemara is assuming, so therefore that creepy crawler stuff will heat up the body, and even Gentile women would be able to be masriach sperm. Okay. Okay. And even if you want to say, okay, well, a non-Jewish woman, sure, so she can be masriach sperm because she eats shkatzim or masim. But what about sperm from a Jewish man that somehow ended up in an animal? Don't know why that would happen. But anyways, behemamau, I guess theoretically speaking, what if the sperm of a Jewish man somehow ended up inside of the womb of an animal? Well, mau, would the animal be able to be masriach this sperm? Do we say isha de isla prusdor masrachas of a behema de leisla prusdor lo? Do we say, well, a woman has a vaginal canal that I guess is at least more significant than an animal's, and therefore it kind of would block out any ventilation and any kind of air from being able to cool down the sperm, and that's why she can be masrachas this sperm. But the animals, even though they eat shkatzim urimasim, they don't have I don't know really animal anatomy, but I guess they don't have any kind of vaginal canal, or maybe a less significant one. I don't know. But in any event, therefore, it doesn't block out any air from coming in, and or not as much, and therefore maybe the sperm would remain potent and tameh even though it eats shkatzim or masim, or maybe it doesn't matter. And guess what? Teku. We do not know the answer to such a glorious question. Friends, let's go on. Okay, now here comes the machlokas between the Rabbanan and Rabbi Yossi that we've been referencing about did the Bnei Yisrael separate men from women for 3 days before Matan Torah or 2 days? Here we go. Tana Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, Bashishi b'chodesh nitnu aseres adibros liYisrael. So according to the Tanakama, the 10 commandments were given to the Yidden on the 6th day of Sivan. Rabbi Yossi Omer, says the holy Rabbi Yossi, B'Shiva Bo, was given on the 7th day of Nisan. Okay. Omer Rava, now says Rava, Tichuli Amma B'Rosh Chodesh Asu Limid Sinai. Okay. Everyone agrees that the Yidden came to the desert of Sinai on Rosh Chodesh Sivan. Okay. It says over here by Mamad Sinai, by Yom Hazeh Bo Midbar Sinai, on Yom Hazeh, on this day, they came to the desert of Sinai. Uchsev Hasam, and it says Dar'in HaChodesh Azeh Lachem Rosh Chodeshim. Right? The Eibishter says to Moshe that this month is Rosh Chodesh. Malahalan Rosh Chodesh, Afkan Rosh Chodesh. Just like when the Eibishter said to Moshe the parsha of HaChodesh Azeh Lachem, so which was by Korban Pesach, so that was on Rosh Chodesh Nisan. So this was also on Rosh Chodesh, albeit Rosh Chodesh Sivan. Okay. Okay, and everyone also agrees that the Torah was given to the Yidden on Shabbos. Okay. It says over here, by the Seres HaDibris, Zachar es Yom HaShabbos l'kadsho. It says, remember the day of Shabbos to make it holy. And it says, also in the context of Yetzias Mitzrayim, in the parsha of Kadesh Likol Bechor, which is one of the parshas in the Tefillin, it says, Vayomer Moshe la'am Zachar es hayom hazeh. Right? It says, remember es hayom, it says, remember this day. Right? So it says Zachor by mentioning Shabbos in the Seres HaDibros, and it also says Zachor by the parsha of Kadesh Likol Bechor. Malhalim bi'itzumo shayom, afkan bi'itzumo shayom. Just like by Kadesh Lib Kol B'chor, when it says Zachor, right, Zachor Sayom Hazeh Asher Yitzasem Mitzrayim, that was on the actual day that it's talking about, right, the day that they left Egypt. Well, also here, when it says Zachor Yom HaShabbos L'Kadsho, remember Shabbos, well, it's also on the actual day that it's talking about, i.e., it was also on Shabbos when it says Zachor Yom HaShabbos L'Kadsho, okay? So everyone agrees that the Yidden came to Midbar Sinai on Rosh Chodesh. Everyone also agrees that the Torah was given to the Yidden on Shabbos. Ki plige, what are they arguing about? Basically, the days leading up to that. The days between Rosh Chodesh. When was Rosh Chodesh? What happened on the days between Rosh Chodesh and Matan Torah? That's where they argue. Ki plige, b'kviyah diyarcha. They argue about when exactly Rosh Chodesh was. Rabbi Yossi Savar, Rabbi Yossi held, b'chad b'shaba ikba yarcha, that Rosh Chodesh was Sunday. Uv'chad b'shaba lo amr lehu v'lo midi. And on Sunday, which was Rosh Chodesh, there were no commandments. Mishum chulsha d'orcha. Because they were tired. They were just traveling. Everyone just stop traveling, set up your tents, chill out for the day. B'trei b'shaba, on Monday, armilu v'atem tiyu l'mamleches karanim, right, Moshe Rabbeinu came down from the mountain and said, you are going, right, the Eibishter said, atem tiyu l'mamleches karanim v'kadosh, all that. That was on Monday. B'tlasa, on Tuesday, armilu, the Eibishter said to the Bnei Yisrael, or really Moshe said to the Bnei Yisrael, mitzvah sagbala, that they need to, set up perimeters around the mountain. Be'arba'a, on Wednesday, Avud Prisha, they separated for 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then on Shabbos, the Torah was given, right? So therefore, according to Rabbi Yossi, so Rosh Chodesh was on Sunday, which is when the Yidden got to Midbar Sinai, and then there was all sorts of preparations, which culminated with the Torah being given on Shabbos, the 7th day of Sivan. V'Rabbanan Savre, whereas the rabbis hold, B'trei b'shaba ikba yarcha, that Rosh Chodesh was Monday. B'trei b'shaba lo amar lehu v'lo midi mishum chulsha d'orcha, and additionally on Monday there were no additional commands, so that everybody can rest. B'tlasa, on Tuesday, amar lehu v'atem tiyu li, right, that's when the Eibishter said, you will be for me Mamleches Kohanim Goy Kadosh. Barba, on Wednesday, Amilu Mitzvah Sagbala, they said to set a perimeter around the mountain. Behei Avud Prisha, and then Thursday and Friday they were separated, which culminated with the Torah being given on Shabbos, on the 6th day of Sivan. Well, that begins our, so that was Daf Pei Vav, and that begins our exploration or discussion of Ma'amad Har Sinai, albeit from a extremely technical introduction, segue. Okay. Friends, let's review Daf Pei Vav. So, Poleta Shech Vazera on day 3, right? So really that's the main sugi that we talk about, that we've been talking about really throughout the Daf, which is if a woman is Poleta Shech Vazera on the 3rd day after sleeping with her partner. So, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah says that in this case she will be tahor because she's only tamei for 2 days. By day 3, if she's poleta shech v'zera, she's tahora. Rabbi Shmuel says that no, on day 3 she would still be tameya, and of course sometimes that would mean that she will be tameya over the course of 4 onas. Sometimes it will be over the course of 5 onas. Sometimes it will be over the course of 6 onas, because according to Rabbi Shmuel, all that's important is the actual day. No matter what time on Wednesday she sleeps with her partner, well, Wednesday becomes day 1, okay? And therefore, whether it's the beginning of the day on Wednesday, in which case you could, this period can last for 6 onos, or whether it's at the end of the day on Wednesday, in which case the period can last only for 4 complete onos. But the point is, Rabbi Shmuel says by day 3, she's still going to be tamei. By day 4, she's already tahor. And Rabbi Kiva says it's just 5 onos. It's always 5 onos, right? And that means that either 5 complete onos, or if, they slept with each other in the middle of, the first, in the middle of an ona, well then you make up for the first part of the ona during the first part of the 6th ona. Talking about the mitzvahs, prisha, right? The Chacham say that, Thursday and Friday, i.e. for 2 days, they separated, and already by Shabbos, if a woman be poleta shech v'zera, she'd be tahor, and that's like Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, who says that by day 3 you're already tahor. Rabbi Yossi says that from Wednesday was prisha, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, men and women were separated, and that's like Rabbi Yishmael, who says that Shabbos, which is day 4, any Shechva Zera would be tahor. And Rabbi Akiva also says, like Rabbi Yossi, that the Prisha happened on Wednesday, and it happened at Hashkama, right early, right before the day even started, so that you have the full day Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Friday to get your full onos. And by the time Shabbos started, if she'd be Poleta Shechva Zera, then she would be tahora. We talked about Tvul Yoms, how at Har Sinai they were allowed to be Tvul Yoms. That doesn't mean that they were Tvul Yoms because they went to the mikveh earlier, but even if a woman was Poleta Shechva Zera after she went to the mikveh, so she could always still go to the mikveh on Friday night, and even though that means that she'll be a Tvul Yom during Mamad Har Sinai. And then, we had this discussion, when exactly was the Torah given, what exactly was the days leading up to Har Sinai and everything. So we said, look, everyone agrees that Har Sinai, that the Torah was given on Shabbos. Everyone also agrees that the Yidden got to Midbar Sinai on Rosh Chodesh. The machlokas between Rabbi Yishmael, between the Chachamim and Rabbi Yossi is the following. According to Rabbi Yossi, the Bnei Israel, right, Rosh Chodesh was on a Sunday, so they got to Midbar Sinai on a Sunday. Sunday the day off. Monday was Tuesday they set the perimeter around the mountains. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday they had Prisha, and then the Torah was given on Shabbos, which was day 7, and that's the 7th day of Sivan. According to the Chachamim, Rosh Chodesh was on Monday, which means that the Yidden got to Midbar Sinai on Monday. Monday there were no additional commands. Then Tuesday was Atam Tuli Mamleches Kohanim Kadosh. Wednesday was setting the perimeter around the mountain. Thursday, Friday was separation. Shabbos, which was day 6, the 6th day of Sivan, was when the Yidden got the Torah. Friends, I hope you enjoyed today. It's an interesting kind of daf, lots of numbers and calculations and stuff, but it was all kind of logical. I hope you stuck with it, and the most important thing, of course, is I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy your day. Peace.